name's Matt King. I'm the CEO of Walk2Campus Holdings. We're a student housing development and management company located in 8 states across the eastern U.S. The vast majority of development, especially in our space, student housing, they aren't focused on pedestrian orientation, and it's largely new construction. 95% of what Walk2Campus owns is located within 0.3 of a mile of campus. 2/3 of that number is within 1/10 of a mile of campus. We believe in the fabric of university communities, and we believe in creating solely pedestrian-oriented assets. One of the advantages of having a business philosophy that is extremely long-term minded is that you can take the next level of not only thinking about ownership, but also thinking about stewardship. We've been in Farmville for a decade and a half. When you come in from the outside, you will see it is characterized by these 100-year-old grand tobacco prizeries. And this particular prizery is one that has been owned by the Farmers Co-op or operating in southern states for the past 50 years. And we were lucky enough to know them, and they knew us, and they entrusted us with the building in its next chapter.
So adaptive reuse really is a different animal in the construction industry as new ground-up construction. One, you're working with the confines of an existing structure, existing skeleton, and then as with a renovation, you never know what you get. You've heard the expression, a can of worms. If something can go wrong, and usually does go wrong in a renovation. It almost goes without saying, after 115 years of use, the building certainly was riddled with a myriad of problems.
The roof was leaking, the floors are out of level, the brick was in bad shape. Our challenge was to analyze the building and see what needed to be done to make it a viable structure. With all of those downsides and all of the issues that you're confronted with a 100-plus-year-old building, there are so many opportunities as well. 14-foot ceilings, solid brick masonry walls, the 9-foot tall double-hung windows.
This is the 4th or 5th project that we've done, the conversion of older buildings into student housing, and in this case, mixed commercial space. Old buildings are not for the faint of heart. They are difficult to think about. The construction itself is difficult. This takes longer than new construction. It takes more thought than new construction. You run into a lot more obstacles than you do with new construction. But at the end of the day, what's more sustainable than repurposing a century-old building that oozes character, that oozes history, that sits right in the heart of downtown and sits just 2 blocks from the university itself? We think it's worth it.
The Southern States, or Co-op, as this project was known in the Farmville community for over 100 years, really excited a lot of people in the local community that knew about the project, that had been to the Southern States building with family or friends over the years. And a lot of the contracting community we sought out was local, within a 30-mile radius, that had history and familiarity with this building, and made it a special project for them to put their craftsmanship skills to work to sustain this building for another 115 years.
The Department of Historic Resources wants the existing structure left exposed to the greatest degree possible, so that someone coming to the building today, it will be clear what this building was historically. We had an incredible attic space that we really wanted to take advantage of. Through some research, we were able to discover that the original building had dormers. That allowed us to fully utilize the attic space with apartments.
So some of the brickwork, it's an exterior masonry bearing structure. So after 115 years of differential settlement, freeze-thaw cycles, moisture getting behind mortar joints, so you can imagine a lot of cracks will develop. A lot of the brick were not the same on the exterior of the building, so we had to kind of find a happy medium of relaying mortar joints, pointing the brick up, relaying brick that were removed over time, And it was just a labor-intensive process because it was a selective process. It wasn't a whole-scale replacement or a whole-scale repoint. It was a very selective process that took a lot of craftsmanship.
One of the great challenges of this building was the state of the windows when we arrived. I mean, they were not energy efficient, but they were beautiful. One of the things we were able to do was find a replacement window that looked identical to the existing windows and solved a lot of problems from an energy efficiency standpoint.
A key component to the building, its design and its construction, is the amenity space on the ground floor. And it's a gathering room. It's a place for folks to get together. It's a place where students can come down and study, grab a cup of coffee, or just hang out with their friends at the end of the day and watch a game.
The pride and sense of ownership in this project is at the top of the charts because of the local presence involved, and you could tell a difference with the contractors coming to work on this project because they knew it was something that was a lasting project and their craftsmanship would be seen for years to come and not 30 years and we're tearing the building down again.
One of the great outcomes of this building is that it really, for the most part, retained all the unique characteristics that we found when we came here, and I think improved upon them. We were able to take it back really to the essence of the existing structure.
So this project, in addition to a project down the street that we delivered at the same time, which is a conversion of a 1960s bank building into the university bookstore with apartments overhead, are symbolic of something greater that's going on here in Farmville. The resurgence of a town that has not lost the sense of its historic identity, but is also not unmindful of the future that lies ahead. A project like this, financially doesn't make sense. It's a question mark when you start getting involved with it. If you look at what Rosny conceived, and you look at what English Construction implemented, and you watch the students walking in and out of this building, and you watch the folks in the community and how they relate to the building, then, in our mind, it's clearly worth it.